Hello everyone, welcome to the Crystaly Recapped channel. And now you are going to hear a short retelling of the movie Lady Macbeth. A young girl named Catherine is married off to a man much older than she is. A maid named Anna takes care of the girl before she goes to bed. Left alone, Catherine waits for her husband who, upon entering the room, immediately makes it clear that she will stay at home all the time and not go out. After Alexander demands that she take off her shirt, Catherine undresses, but the man turns off the light and goes to bed. In the morning, she sits on the windowsill and looks out of the window. That's how the first day of her new life flies by. A day later, the next morning, Anna comes to Catherine's room to open the shutters on the windows. Catherine is very upset with her gray and boring life. Her only entertainment is the window overlooking nature and the fireplace, and looking at it, Catherine falls asleep all the time. She gets tired of this lifestyle very quickly. Before dinner is over, Catherine goes to her room, which doesn't sit well with Boris, Alexander's father. He asks Katerina not to fall asleep, but to wait for her husband. Katerina is followed by Anna, whom Boris orders to make sure that his request is fulfilled. After a while, a drunken Alexander appears in the room, demanding that Katerina take off her shirt and sit down by the fireplace. Turning her face to the wall as the man demands, Katerina hears the sound of his pants being unbuttoned behind her, and then Alexander begins to do manual labor. In the morning, Katerina asks Boris where her husband went. According to the old man, there was an explosion at one of the mines owned by the family, and Alexander went there. Tomorrow, Boris is also going to London on business, so the girl will have to stay alone in the estate for a while. As soon as the old man leaves the house, Catherine immediately goes outside to breathe in the fresh air for the first time in a long time. In the morning, Anna and another maid leave the house and Catherine falls asleep in front of the fireplace as usual, but wakes up to screams outside. As she leaves the house, she hears voices in one of the buildings. Entering the building, Catherine sees the company's employees and Anna wrapped in a sheet hanging in the middle of the room. Sebastian points to her and says they are weighing pigs. Catherine orders them to let the girl go, and then says that since they spent Alexander's time and money on this entertainment, the girl will be watching over them. When Catherine returns home, she learns the name of the cheeky employee who has recently joined them. In the morning, she goes for a walk, where she meets Sebastian again. Catherine ignores his words that the house is in the other direction, smiling flirtatiously. As night falls, she hears a knock at the door. Opening it, Catherine finds Sebastian, who says he is dying of boredom. She tries to close the door, but the boy bursts into her room. Having cornered Catherine, Sebastian tries to kiss her, but she pushes him away. After that, she throws herself at him with kisses, exhausted from the man's flesh. This is the first morning in this house when the girl woke up happy. Since then, she has been sneaking around with Sebastian to fulfill her needs. While picking mushrooms early in the morning, Anna meets Sebastian walking his dogs. The girl hints that his secret meetings with the owner could end badly, but only receives threats in response. As night falls, Sebastian comes to see Katerina again, and the maid sees him through the keyhole. In the morning, Anna enters Catherine's room. Opening the windows, she informs them that Boris has returned from his trip to London. At dinner, Boris asks Anna to bring him some champagne, which Catherine drinks in the absence of the men. Without giving away her mistress, the maid is humiliated by Boris. He forces the girl to get down on all fours like an animal. After learning of Katerina's betrayal, Boris goes to the barn, where he beats Sebastian and orders him to lock up. When Katerina learns of this, she demands that the old man let the worker out, for which she receives a slap on the wrist. The ensuing quarrel ends with Boris going to his room, and Katerina propping the door with a chair. She then asks Anna to sit next to her, as she does not like to dine alone. She starts asking the maid about her family. Boris starts knocking on the door, saying that he is sick, but Katerina orders Anna to sit and not open the door. As soon as the screaming and banging subsides, Katerina sends the maid to fetch a doctor, and she runs to the barn where Sebastian is locked up. The doctor who arrives only states that Boris is dead. Sometime later, Katerina receives a letter from Alexander, who cannot come to her father's funeral. The girl is sure that Alexander hated his father, and that's the whole reason. After burying Boris, Catherine begins to meet with the guy almost openly. The maids discuss the death of their master, for which Anna blames herself. That day, Boris ate the mushrooms that the girl was picking, which left her speechless. Katerina tells Sebastian about this, assuring him that because of her illness the maid will not be able to tell her master anything. The girl confesses her love to the boy, saying that she will never part with him and will follow him anywhere, even to the next world. One night Katerina wakes up to a noise. Looking out the window, she notices Alexander's horse below. Waking Sebastian, Katerina sends him to the back room and waits for her husband. She tells him that she woke up to the sound of the horse. Looking at Catherine, Alexander notices that she has gained weight. The girl goes to get tea, and while drinking, Alexander confesses that he has heard rumors of his beloved's infidelity and threatens to expel Sebastian. Since Alexander knows everything, Catherine goes to the back room to fetch the boy, whom she puts on the bed. After taking off his pants, Catherine climbs on top of Sebastian in front of Alexander. Furious, Lester beats the girl and then starts fighting with Sebastian, but Catherine beats her husband and kills him. Sebastian buries the lifeless body in the woods. To hide the traces of Alexander's return, Catherine takes her husband's horse into the forest, where she kills the animal. Since then, Sebastian has been suffering from insomnia, but Catherine claims that Alexander wanted to kill the boy himself. They beat him, and now have the right to live a happy life, which a few days later is disrupted by a woman named Agnes. She brings a boy named Teddy to Catherine's house and says that he is her son and heir. Catherine cannot believe it, but Agnes has official documents to prove it. Sebastian believes that the woman is lying about Teddy. Because of the boy's presence in the house, Sebastian refuses to meet with Catherine. If they are seen, he will have to leave. So as long as Teddy is here, Catherine will have to forget about seeing him. While watching the boy and the maid play in the morning, Catherine notices Sebastian leaving with Anna. The girl runs outside, where Teddy begins to pick on her, but Catherine pushes him away, causing the boy to run away in tears. Catherine returns to her room, where a maid later comes to tell her that they cannot find Teddy. Together they go in search of the boy, whom Sebastian finds near a waterfall. Looking at the boy and the raging river, a sinister plan ripens in the man's mind, but his conscience prevails. Sebastian brings Teddy back to the house, where Agnes begins to scold him. Unwilling to endure the humiliation, Sebastian is about to leave the estate, telling Catherine about the perfect opportunity to kill the heir that he did not take. Catherine asks him to wait. Entering the room where Agnes is watching Teddy, Catherine persuades the woman to go to bed, and she will watch the boy. When Agnes leaves, Catherine lets Sebastian into the room through the window, and together they get rid of the little heir. Sitting next to Teddy, Catherine waits for dawn until Anna appears in the room. At this time, Sebastian is sobbing over Alexander's grave. He then rushes to the mansion, where Catherine deceives the doctor that she fell asleep, and when she woke up, Teddy was already dead. Pointing to the fresh bruises on the boy's body, the doctor asks Catherine if someone could have entered the room while she was sleeping. At this point, Sebastian runs in and confesses to the crime, betraying Catherine as well. He tells the doctor and the detective about the murders of Alexander and Boris, whom Catherine poisoned with mushrooms. The girl denies this, saying that Anna always picked the mushrooms, and Sebastian went to the forest every morning with a maid. It is possible that Anna poisoned Boris, because the day before the old man had severely beaten Sebastian and locked him in the barn. Anna can refute this, but the maid has lost the gift of speech after Boris's death and can neither confirm nor deny anything. Because of this, Anna and Sebastian are sent to hard labor. After that, the other servants leave the estate, leaving the pregnant Catherine alone in the house. This is the end of the movie. That's all for today. Subscribe and like if you want more videos like this.